It's Thursday, March 13th, and I'm David Song, currency analyst with Daily FX, here to discuss the U of Michigan Consumer Confidence Survey for the month of March. Again, this is going to be the preliminary read or the first read, so we'll see how market sentiment fares. And despite the muted reaction that we saw to the U.S. data early this morning, namely retail sales, initial and continued jobs claims, U.S. consumer confidence, a little bit more of a forward-looking indicator, so maybe we could get a little bit more volatility in terms of the market reaction. But again, we'll continue to watch what's going to happen in light of the recent price developments, namely for the euro dollar as well as the dollar yen. But with both of the currencies, with what's driving, especially the recent themes that's been driving these currencies, we'll take a little bit of a different approach with the euro dollar as well as the dollar yen. So let's just jump into things here. Euro dollar, we'll take it for face value. So if we see good U.S. data prints, might continue to push this exchange rate lower. However, we're seeing this single currency really come under pressure today after ECB President Mario Draghi is very suggestive that they sort of favor a weaker currency, especially given the threat for disinflation still within the monetary union. So on that, guys, maybe we might see the ECB really embark on verbal intervention in order to further balance the risks surrounding the economy. But right now, again, some key developments here. Ran into trendline resistance, also lines up with this 618 extension that I have here, right around 139.60, 139.70. So it looks as though we might have a higher high in place. And for a trigger on that, guys, I'll wait or really watch for the RSI here to break down from the bullish momentum. Once we get that, guys, I think that's going to give us not only confirmation, but also conviction that the euro might face a larger correction. But once we even get that, guys, one thing I'll look for after we've broken out of this very long-term bearish trend from all the way back in 2008, I'll certainly look for consecutive series of higher highs and higher lows. So again, should we see the downside break in the RSI on the euro dollar, might suggest a larger correction in play. And even on that, we'll look for a higher low down the road. For the dollar yen, a little bit different. We're seeing the yen continue to benefit off of this risk aversion sort of theme that's going on. And of course, saw it push back below former resistance here, which was sort of acting as soft support. But we got a nice break below 102.50 region. And below here, guys, now that we've cleared some of the downside targets, the only real level I'll watch is going to be all the way down here at the 101 handle. Even if we do see this risk aversion continue, might ultimately even threaten the long dating trend, the bullish trend carried over from last year. But here's some themes to watch. So some of the commentary we saw coming out of the BOJ last night was the fact that they didn't purchase as many Japanese government bonds as market participants were looking for. And in light of the recent comments, looks as though we might be seeing a more material shift in the policy outlook as Mr. Kuroda continues to see scope of achieving that 2% target for inflation even during the end of fiscal year 2014. And at the same time, we're seeing a lot of BOJ policymakers suggested that they might not even further embark or further expand their asset purchase program. So again, should we see a material shift in the policy outlook for the BOJ? Again, everyone's looking at dollar yen as a one-way trade, but not really where things might get complicated. Should we see, again, BOJ continue to shift the policy outlook there? But on that, guys, again, with the dollar yen, it has been following broader risk trends. So on that, our trade approach for that, and it looks as though recently good news coming out of the U.S. economy could actually be bad news for market sentiment and even equities market overall. So we'll take that approach for the dollar yen. And again, with the euro dollar, if we get good U.S. data, might see further declines there. But on that, guys, as we head into the weekend, there are some data prints we're going to watch ahead of U of Mich, namely the Bank of Japan minutes from the February meeting. And also, we'll watch those fourth quarter employment numbers coming out of the Eurozone as they continue to face 12% unemployment in the region. But on that, guys, as always, going into the weekend, might see market participation thin out, so just be mindful of that. But as always, guys, good luck on your trades and stay prudent.